So this video is 51 minutes long. I'm watching it at 1.5x speed. If you can't handle that, skill issue.
PayPal does not want you seeing this video. A few hours ago, PayPal's lawyer sent me a cease and desist letter and requested Patreon take down my video under a copyright infringement claim. I consider this a direct attack against my fundamental rights as an independent journalist. PayPal.
That is his fundamental rights as an independent journalist. The fact is he just like spat out facts. They just don't like that he got called out, or that Honey got called out.
Has specifically taken issue with the fact that an anonymous source discovered Honey had left their source code exposed within their iOS app, which, if you know where to look, is publicly accessible. This anonymous source found the code and sent it to me. I reviewed.
So they fucked up and they want to like sue him for defamation. Cool. That's great. I love the legal system. Because the thing is that the fact of the matter is that the lawyers wouldn't have done that if they didn't think that they had a case. Or maybe they just want to shut him up. It doesn't sound American though, so...
The code for security research purposes, which is a protected act, and I only publish relevant sections of the code that provide important context to the story, which I consider within the realm of public interest. Nevertheless, I have removed sections of the video containing said code, not because I believe PayPal are correct, but because I know they will have YouTube take this video down. It was only a small segment of the video, therefore I have made this decision quickly, under duress, and to proceed with this publication as quickly as possible. If PayPal thought this would stop me, they were sorely mistaken. Enjoy the video.
I don't trust Honey. I don't know what it is. I don't trust it. They push so much advertising. And then people are getting money out of it, and then
y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. I've never actually watched a Markiplier video. I mean, I know who he is. I've seen plenty of clips of him. I've never actually, I just know who he is. That's it. I just know that he's incredibly famous, that he has fuck you money, and it's all from YouTube. Yeah, I never really got into the big YouTubers. Like, I didn't watch Markiplier, I never watched PewDiePie or anything like that. I just know who they are, and I know that PewDiePie is literally living the life I wish I had right now.
people are saving money out of it, and that makes sense, but the other part doesn't make sense, and then something's going on here. Where's all this money coming from? I have a feeling there's gonna, in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy.
PayPal.
Well, guess what? There was a Honey conspiracy. Oh my god, I can't believe there's a part 2 to this.
PayPal's Honey Money saving browser extension is accused of scamming customers and YouTube creators.
The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed.
The greatest scam in the history of the creator economy.
People have been getting influenced and scammed, and I've been a part of it.
It involves almost every high-profile creator that I can think of, including myself.
Honey paid a lot of influencers up front.
Well,
yeah, I remember when Honey ads started coming out, like, at first, and it felt like every content creator was like doing some kind of like Honey ad, and I don't really remember all the details of like what went down the first time it happened. I know that Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips was that they stopped taking Honey because they knew that the app was doing something weird and that they didn't like it, so that's why they dropped them. But then they didn't really like say anything, like they didn't make a video about it. They didn't like tell everyone, oh, Honey bad, by the way, right? Oops. Mr. Beast's biggest victim. Is that so? Hi, Lucifina Chan. Thank you for following. And so when that was happening, like I installed Honey. I thought, oh, like a thing that just searched for coupon codes, right? But then I always found that, like, at least where I shop, because it was mostly Amazon and like some random obscure sites, that like Honey was never very helpful, and then I would have to search for codes on my own. But I never had thought that like, oh, that was a failure, or like Honey was obfuscating something. I always thought it was just like, you know, it just searches for a database that's probably like compiled by people, and that the sites I use are not like popular enough, or like there just really aren't any codes for it. I didn't think it was doing anything nefarious. Lo and behold, it was actually doing something very nefarious.
taking money out of their back pockets.
Oh, that's a little shady, mind you.
No way that signs you up for their affiliate link. No
Oh, it's
way.
Asmongold.
What? Brother.
It's ICC. I know some of these
biggest
people.
Honey fan in the world.
Who's that?
Ludwig, no!
His hair's
Also
nice.
been lying to consumers.
They are clearly not giving the best coupon codes and discounts to
I like
users.
this guy.
Have downloaded Honey.
I like MKBHD. I like his reviews because they're good for dumb people like me. That's why I bought an iPhone.
Do recommend removing it from your browser.
I do think that this investigation for Megalag will lead to a huge class action lawsuit against Honey.
So on behalf of creators everywhere, I have filed a class.
I thought for a second there was an ad when I came in, and I was like, but I'm subscribed. Sorry, I am the ad. uh Legal Eagle is suing Honey. Yeah, I remember that.
We're suing PayPal and Honey. Gamers Nexus is the lead plaintiff in a class action complaint filed against PayPal, and it's
I loved Gamers Nexus's reaction to Linus Tech Tips about like not talking about like them dropping Honey like as loudly enough. I look, I love internet drama, but some of my favorite internet drama is whenever Gamers Nexus gets mad at Linus Tech Tips. That's the best shit ever. I don't know, I don't actually know why they hate each other, but they just really do, which is crazy because they're basically always on the same side for like 90% of tech things.
property Honey.
Well, it's safe to say PayPal's lawyers love my last video. But don't worry, PayPal, you know what they say. All press is good press, right? Let's see. Since releasing part 1 of my investigation,
I do genuinely believe that all press is good press. All like, even if it's bad, it's good. Because the fact is that like Honey's original ad campaign was probably so powerful that I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Honey is. But if you didn't, you know what this is now. I mean, you probably know that it's also evil, so you're probably smart enough to not install it. But hey, guess what happened? Like 2 other apps popped up that do exactly what Honey does. Are they as nefarious and evil? We'll see in a few years.
Honey has lost over 6 million users, Google has changed their policies for browser extensions, blocking Honey from claiming undeserved commissions, and most significantly, PayPal has been slammed with over 20 class action lawsuits
Jesus
accusing
Christ.
them of wiretapping, computer hacking, unfair competition,
Well,
consumer fraud,
no
tortious
wonder they
interference,
want to silence
and unjust
you.
enrichment. Yikes, maybe not them. And unfortunately for PayPal, I suspect more lawsuits will be filed following the release of this video. Why? Well, you see, besides lying to consumers and stealing from influencers, Honey was also causing serious harm to small businesses. So much so that I believe brands have likely suffered millions of dollars in damages. But that's not all. In this video, you're also going to learn how Honey was collecting and sharing your data, and how they, in my opinion, illegally targeted.
I'm pretty sure that the most fucked up thing that Honey did was whenever like, so another thing that was really popular at the time and is still pretty popular today is VPN sponsorships. If a VPN ever comes to me, I'm gonna say yes to them. You know why? I can tell you why right now. Because they're going to offer me a truckload of money because of my bum leg, apparently. But no, VPNs are just money printing machines. The thing about VPNs is that they are easy to spin up from a technical standpoint, like compared to other things, right? They are easy to spin up, easy to run, and all you have to do is accept the liability. Well, not the liability. You have to be willing to say, we don't keep logs. And when the FBI or the CIA or someone comes to you and is like, hey, this traffic that went to this site, where did that go? You have to be willing to say, I don't know, I don't keep logs. And normal people aren't willing to do that. But if you are morally bankrupt and you just like money, then running a VPN company is a great idea. But I forgot what to say. The fucked up thing was. The fucked up thing was that Honey would insert itself into the creator's like VPN link, and then the Honey would get the commission for the VPN and not the creator, because the commissions for VPNs were like upwards of $30 if the person got like a yearly subscription or something. It was fucking crazy.
Minors through influencers such as Mr. Beast. Strong accusations, I know, but I have the receipts. I've reviewed internal data, Honey's source code, their pitch deck to investors, disturbing emails between Honey and small businesses. I've reviewed interviews, and much, much more. You're about to get insights into...
Maybe they're faking the feud for views. Like they certainly could be. I would not put it past them. I never heard of this Honey thing, so I'm glad I missed out on it. Yeah, just don't use Honey. Honestly, like anything that like uses is like a coupon code searcher. It's easy enough to just Google whatever site you're on and then like typing in the thing that you're buying and being like coupon code for this and just seeing what works. Most of the time things won't work, but sometimes they do. You'll kind of know what sites like take coupon codes. I use PayPal, but never heard of the Honey thing. So PayPal is Honey's parent company. That's kind of the issue here. PayPal is a pretty horrible company. I currently use PayPal for my Twitch payouts. PayPal is really good for like if you have issues with your country's credit card or something, like I do because I'm not from America, and I don't have an American credit card right now. And you need to like pay for something international. PayPal is like a good like third party to use, but you should be very wary of them because like let's say you're a content creator for something or something like if you're looking at my Twitch page and you're like wondering why doesn't Velvett beg for money more? It's because I'm scared. I'm very scared of someone sending me a donation through PayPal and then charging it back. Do you know what happens in that case? Let's say they send me $5 and then they charge back their $5. I lose that $5 and then I also take a $50 penalty. No fucking thank you. I mean, PayPal couldn't collect from me even if they wanted to, but like I just don't want to deal with that. If I were to get random money into my PayPal right now, I would immediately refund it like manually. I would immediately refund that because I'm like, nah, no thank you. If you receive money like on Twitch, for example, and like so someone subscribes to you and then they charge back their subscription, Twitch will fight it, but they will also just reap the money back from you and you won't like be in debt to them. So that's something to keep in mind. That's why like I was okay with affiliate. Like if you want to subscribe to me, give me money for that. That's totally cool. But like I said earlier, if someone were to give me 1,000 gift subs right now, I would not fucking touch that money. I wouldn't touch it for months. It is fascinating. Yeah, it is fascinating. There are safe ways to take money as a content creator. I'm not so focused on the money right now. I'm just focused on having fun, growing a YouTube channel, things like that. So it's not a priority for me. But I've look, I've seen plenty of content creators who are smaller than me, and I am puny by comparison. I think I just hit 200 followers. I have 200 followers on Twitch, and people with even less than me or around the same as me have all kinds of like promo bullshit plastered on their Twitch channel, and I just think that's anyways. Let's actually watch this fucking
one of the
video.
most scummy, predatory business models I have ever seen. You'll also find out why my investigation has triggered multiple class action lawsuits against other corporate giants such as Microsoft, Capital One, Klarna, Rakuten, and Retail Me Not. Per usual, the views, allegations, and conclusions expressed in this series are my opinions based on evidence I have gathered, which will be shared throughout. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of The Honey Trap.
Oh wait, hold on. I want to look at this. Hold on, I want to look at that like wall of crap. All right, let's see what's going on here. I know this company. This is a Japanese company. I think I use them for watching J-dramas. Kids love the Klarnas. I'm gonna talk about something real quick. If you need to use a service that lets you do monthly payments to buy something, don't buy that thing. Just don't. You don't need it. You don't need it. Don't use it. If you can't pay for, if you like, okay, let's say for example, you can pay for it up front. You have the cash in hand. You're ready to go. But you want to use this thing and to like, I don't know, just to like, so that way you can keep your rainy day fun. Like in case something does, like something bad does legitimately happen. That's a fair use case. Let's say you need to, you just want to use this maybe to build credit. I don't actually think you can build credit with Klarna. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't lived in America for a long time. There are a lot of things that you think, oh, it totally does build credit. It totally fucking doesn't. Like getting a phone, it doesn't build credit. But guess what? If you don't pay your bill, it hurts your credit. That's fucked up, isn't it? That doesn't seem fair. Oh well. Sucks to suck. But real advice, if you can't afford something up front, don't use these services to go buy it. You don't fucking need it. The moment you do this, you're going to do it again, and then you're going to do it again, and you're going to be like, oh, I can afford a $500 monthly bill from Klarna. No, actually you can't. Because if you could, you would have bought the first thing up front, probably. Or you would have just waited a few weeks or a few months at the most. What are these? Capital One. I fucking hate Capital One. They have way too many fees on their accounts. I could be wrong about that now, but when I used them once, I really did not like paying like whatever it was. Microsoft. We all love Microsoft, right? Everyone loves it. I don't know what Pi is. What's Karma? Does anyone know what Karma is? I don't know what half of these things are actually. Now that I'm looking at, I don't know what Google is. I mean, I do know what Google is. What's DigiDip? What the fuck is that? Credit Karma. Oh, more credit bullshit. Oh my fucking god. Of course. Look, just get a normal fucking credit card. Go onto our finance on Reddit. Look up whatever the credit card meta is. Whatever gives you your 1% cash back on everything and then 3% back at like Costco or whatever. You get that card, you build your credit, and you use it responsibly.
There were many moments throughout this investigation where I thought I'd reached.
You know what's funny about checking your credit score? Is that when you check it, it hurts your credit score. It only hurts it by like a little bit, but like it does technically hurt it. It's really funny how that works. Never getting a credit card. Don't trust myself. I'm sticking with debit. Yeah, but here's the thing, Sleepless. I don't know, like, is that one day you are still young, so I get it. Like, you're scared of credit cards. You don't want to ruin your life. But right now you're young. One day you will want to buy a car. And maybe you're okay with a beater that's like super cheap. That's fine. But you'll need credit at some point. Your credit is going to be checked unless you're like literally just going to pay in cash. Or even further down the line, perhaps you're going to find someone that you no, you know what? You already have someone in your life, right? One day, you two are going to want to buy a house. You're not going to have the money for a house up front. No one from my generation has money for a house up front, and certainly no one from your generation is going to have it either, especially with the way the economy currently is. And the only way you're going to be able to get a house like that is if you have credit. Because the fact is that if you rent, you are statistically more likely to be in bad financial situations. You need to be in a position where you can have credit, so that way you can eventually buy a house, build your life, right? Like, those are important things. Having good credit is an important thing, but it is very dangerous, right, to have good credit, because then you have a line of credit. You can just buy what you want. You just need to fight those thoughts. Nobody buys a house on a credit card, bro. That's not how that works. Of course you don't buy a house on a credit card, but they will run your credit when you go to apply a loan. That's what happens. They check how you spend. They check if you pay your spending habits. You're not going to buy a house on a credit card. You're going to go to your bank. They're going to give you a loan based on your credit score, based on your spending habits. And if your credit doesn't exist or it fucking sucks, guess what? You're not getting shit from them. Why? If you don't have credit, go apply to your bank right now. Ask them for a loan for a computer. Watch what happens. They're going to say no. They're going to say abso-fucking-lutely not. We know nothing about you. Also, this is specifically a US problem too. Yeah, it's kind of a US problem. It's more important than the US, but I think it's also still pretty important where Sleepless is from. I paid for my house in cash. I don't know why. Holy shit, Julian. What the fuck? That's crazy. You must got money. God damn. I've got my mom's car waiting for me in the shed, given the state. It's got another decade or two in it, not like she's using it anymore. Never thought I'd be getting financial advice from a VTuber. Look, I'm a functioning adult, okay? I have a fucking mortgage. I actually am paying off a house right now. Well, it's not a house, it's an apartment. I'm Airbnb-ing it. It makes a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money. It makes money. I got it. It's expensive. It's in the heart of Taipei. But yeah, like, maybe you could buy a house without credit. Get a big down payment. and then maybe the seller agrees, okay, I kind of trust you, you making a big down payment, blah 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 blah. Like, but that's a whole other thing. And yeah, Nyanner, well, I was gonna say Nanners. Nyanika is right that you won't be buying a house on credit, but they are gonna check your credit. They're gonna check your spending habits. They're gonna see what kind of person you are. And if they think, okay, this person cannot afford, like let's say your house is $1 million. It probably won't be. Let's say your house is $1 million, and then you need to get a loan for that amount, right? They're gonna sit there and think, okay, does this person make $1 million in this time frame? If the answer is no, then you automatically do not get the loan. Does the person make enough that they can pay monthly payments in this? If the answer is no, then they won't give you anything. Does this person even pay back their bills? If you have bad credit, it's gonna show. They're gonna know that you don't pay back your bills. So guess what? You're not getting a fucking loan. These are decisions that are not taught in school, and they are critical when you are young. And the thing is that most people don't know that. It's not taught to anybody. I've heard of people doing that with lots of things most people get loans for. People shouldn't have to get loans for basic living things, though. Housing shouldn't cost as much as it does. It shouldn't. But you know what? The thing is that, you know what they're not making more of? Because we're making more laptops every day. We're making more phones every day. We're making more whatever frivolous bullshit that like we like to buy every single day. You know what we're not making more of? We're not making more land. There's only so many houses that can go around. There's only so much land that a house can be built on, that an apartment building can be built on. And it's financially responsible if you have tons and tons of money and you don't want your liquid cash to like devalue constantly, to go buy up all these houses and just rent them out. Or in some cases, like New York, for example, they just sit there and nothing happens. Nobody rents them, nobody buys them because they're super expensive apartments, and maybe the owner is just using it as a land bank. And that, like I said, that is actually financially responsible if you have lots and lots of money. But unfortunately, the rest of us don't have lots and lots of money. So guess what we can't do? We can't buy a fucking house. If you don't want a credit card, get ready for a life in parents' house. Well, you know what? I have a lot of friends who have like generational homes, right? Where their grandparents bought the house, and then their parents live in the house. The grandparents pass away, so the parents become the grandparents, they become the parents, and then they have their own kids, and they just never have to worry about that. But the fact is that most of us are not in such a fortunate position. I am well aware, given my current habits, I just don't trust myself with one yet. I don't know if this is still relevant advice, but what I did in the beginning was I went to my credit union, and I was from the US at the time, or I was in the US at the time, and I went to a credit union, and what I did was I got a secured card. That means I got a credit card from my bank, and it was secured with a deposit that I gave them. So I gave them like $500. They gave me a secured card. The credit line was $500. If I default on that card, they take my $500. And if I don't default, then, or like at the end of the month, I get my bill and then I just pay it off. And that's how that worked. That was a very safe card. And there was a little bit of risk to me because if I fucked it up, then I fucked it up. But I always knew in the back of my head, my money is tied to this card. I need to pay it off. I don't put anything other than my groceries on this card. Housing is a basic need and should be provided by the government. It shouldn't be what it currently is. Yeah. But capitalist society, unfortunately. Credit cards work if you use them and immediately pay them off and immediately. Don't use it if you don't have to. Yeah, exactly. Good financial advice is to get a credit card, and the only things you buy with this credit card are the things that you normally buy. The things that you can normally pay off, right? Your food, your bills, what else? Just basic living needs. Anything that isn't something that you need to survive, to get through your day, to get through the month. And I'm not talking about entertainment. You don't need video games to get through your month. As much as it might feel like that, you don't. only put those basic things on that card, and it does nothing else. Then you pay it off, and either you get your points or you build your credit. That's what you should do. And if you want to know what the current like credit card meta is, you go to the subreddit Our Financial Advice or Our Credit Cards. I'm not really sure which one it is. There's probably one for both, and you just ask what is the current meta, because different credit cards have different benefits, things like that. I love how chat's waking up now that I'm talking about this. One slight issue, we used to have that during communist era, and I wouldn't recommend it either. Yeah, here's the thing. No matter what you believe, there are pros and cons to everything. Unfortunately, resources in our world are finite. Housing is a basic need. It is a basic resource. It is something that everyone should have the right to. But logistically speaking, how would we achieve that? The smartest people in the world can figure it out, and the greediest people in the world will always make sure that we never achieve that, and that's just how it is. Julian, that is fascinating. I feel like if I ask any further questions on that, I will never finish this video. All right, let's continue.
I thought I understood everything there was to know about Honey's dirty business model. They were claiming the credit for sales they hadn't earned, poaching the affiliate commissions from content creators, and they were intentionally withholding discounts from users for their own financial gain, rendering the entire value behind their core product a lie. Kind of hard to believe it could get much worse than that, but unfortunately, it does. And I realized this after noticing a strange but reoccurring anomaly. You see, in most cases, when Honey popped up at checkout and I clicked Apply Coupons, a discrete tab would open in the top left corner of my browser. That's Honey injecting a simulated referral clip, attempting to claim the credit for a sale. But here's where things got weird. Every once in a while, I'd come across a store where, after clicking Apply Coupons, Honey wouldn't load their affiliate link. So why not? At first, I thought it might be a bug. I quickly ruled that out after noticing the same anomaly on multiple websites. Even stranger, when this would happen, I was generally finding better deals. So what gives? Well, for the longest time, I was under the assumption that Honey would only pop up on websites that had agreed to partner with them. But I couldn't have been more wrong. And I realized this after stumbling across a post on Shopify's community forum, where a store owner complained that Honey was leaking their coupon codes without their permission. And as I read through the replies, I could see other stores had the same issue. Now, this was a pivotal moment in my investigation because it turned my entire understanding of Honey's business model upside down. Until now, I was so focused on the impact Honey had on consumers and influencers that I didn't even think to consider the potential impact to businesses. Though in my defense, Honey consistently referred to the 30,000 stores on its platform.
Yeah, so if you're not aware, what ended up happening was not only was Honey like fucking over creators by like inserting themselves into the affiliate codes, what was also happening was Honey was they would either show coupons for websites if they weren't partnered with them. Well, I guess that's kind of how it worked. But more importantly, they would hide coupons. Coupons. Do you guys say coupons or coupons? I say both, just depending on like what comes out of my mouth. Anyways, Honey would hide coupons that were partnered with them, and like let's say the site was like, oh, don't show this coupon even though it's there, then Honey would just not show it. They would only show it under like certain conditions, or if the site owner wanted people to like find out about it, that kind of thing. So that's kind of messed up, because like the point of Honey was to have it show you the best coupon codes, and then it just doesn't. That seems counterintuitive.
As participating stores. So one would assume that every store on Honey's platform joined willingly and with consent. Yet clearly, that wasn't the case. So I reached out to several business owners to learn more.
Honey takes the codes that people use on our website, the discount codes, and makes them public to everybody who's using Honey.
We started having problems where customers would get in touch via our support website saying, oh, hey, I just tried to use this discount, this 60% off coupon, and it doesn't work. And I'd be like, we can look into it. Like, dude, that is not your discount. Like, how did you get that? And they'd be like, oh, it just showed up through the Honey extension.
I hadn't heard about Honey before, and I was just hanging out on the couch with my girlfriend, and she made some comment about, oh, this app Honey that basically gives you all these coupon codes, and I think she asked if we were on it. I said no, and then she checked out our website and said, oh, you actually are on it, and it's giving this 15 or 20% discount code. And so that's when I found out about it, and I was pretty shocked because I didn't know how long it had been going on for. Yeah, it cost us thousands, and I haven't even looked into how far back it went, but I know we just ended the code right away.
Now.
Oh. So I guess Honey was able to find codes that like the site owners had like created, and it was like for something else, and normal people weren't supposed to know about it. Oh, I wonder if Honey was just brute forcing codes at some point. That's crazy. It's coupon to me. You don't say crouton. So that's the logic I go by. I go by English is a wild language
If you
logic.
think that sounds bad, well, trust me, it gets a whole lot worse. But first,
How?
it's important we understand the scale of this issue. As you just heard, these store owners clearly never consented to being on Honey, so they can't possibly be among the so-called 30,000 participating stores, right? So why was Honey lying to consumers about the true number of stores supported by its platform? And just how many stores did Honey add to its platform without consent? Was it hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands?
Interesting.
Well, that's where things get interesting. You see, when I started coming through the business side of Honey's website, I noticed that Honey claims to only be partnered
It's
with
not pretty much, I
10,000
promise.
brands. That's 20,000 less than what they advertise to consumers. So I figured, okay, I guess 10,000 stores intentionally partnered with Honey, and the remaining 20,000 never signed up. Now, that would already be incredibly concerning and deeply misleading. But as it turns out, the deception is far worse than that. You see, as I continued
Cool.
digging, I stumbled across this file from Honey's extension called
What the
supported
fuck?
domains, which gets loaded onto your computer when you install Honey. And this file contains a list of over 180,000 online stores. That's a massive discrepancy from what's advertised anywhere on Honey's website. Now, of course, we could start making assumptions based
They used a hack? That's crazy. That has to be extra illegal.
on those numbers alone, but we don't have to, because it just so happens that Honey also keeps detailed information for each of the online stores in this list, and it's relatively easy to access that data. For example, on Chrome, if we click Manage Extensions, turn on Developer Mode, click on the Service Worker for Honey, and click on the Network tab, we can now monitor what Honey does behind the scenes a little closer. So if we say visit apple.com, we can see that Honey is now accessing information from their database related to Apple. Looking at this one in particular, we can see that 2.9 million Honey users visited Apple's website in the past 30 days. We can also see that none of those users saved any money from coupons because, well, Honey has no coupon codes for Apple's website. We can even see internal support and monetization notes that were left by Honey's employees. Interesting. Most importantly, however, we can also see that Honey has an affiliate link for Apple's website, confirming that Apple does have an affiliate partnership with Honey. But if we look at the same data for, say, Abercrombie & Fitch, we can see that Honey doesn't have an
I wonder, wait, are Apple affiliate codes a normal thing? I didn't know that they did that. I wonder if they talked to Apple and asked for that, or like, what was the deal? Because like, no one saved any money on it, so why would you even give a crap if like they were using Honey? Oh well.
affiliate link. Yet Honey is still offering coupon codes for that store. And sure enough, if we click Apply Coupons on Abercrombie & Fitch, Honey doesn't load an affiliate link through that infamous sneaky tab. Aha! Things are starting to make more sense. So all I had to do now was collect this data for every store in Honey's database. The only problem is, collecting this data for one store is easy, but doing it for 180,000, that would literally take years. Unless, of course, you created a little program that automated the entire process, crawling through that massive list, scraping Honey's data store by store, and neatly organizing the most relevant data points
That's
into
a
a
lot of
nice,
crap.
easy to read spreadsheet.
Oh my
well,
God.
That's exactly what we have here. But I can't take any credit for the spreadsheet because this was all the work of someone much better at this stuff than I am, and he goes by the name of Yelta. He's a developer from the Netherlands, awesome guy. And I cannot thank him enough because holy shit, there is a treasure trove of data in this spreadsheet. We now have all the details for every store, every coupon code, every developer note, all curated into one lovely spreadsheet. It's glorious. PayPal will not like me having this data.
I'm just realizing something. Not financial advice, Raven. Make sure you put in when I start talking about credit cards earlier. Make sure you put on the screen not financial advice. If you want to learn how to do credit things, you've got Google. But what I said is mostly sound like thoughts, but it's not financial advice.
But too bad. And Yelta will be releasing this data publicly on Twitter shortly following the release of this video. Link to his Twitter is below, so make sure you give him a follow if you want to catch that drop. Alright, so now that we have this spreadsheet, we can finally confirm that at the time this data was collected, Honey supported 35,000 stores with affiliate links and an additional 146,000 stores without affiliate links. So yes, there was some truth to their claim of supporting 30,000 participating stores. They just conveniently left out the eeny-weeny fact that they dragged an additional 146,000 stores onto their platform,
God, that's a lot of
presumably
crap.
without consent. Now, consider this. If you're Honey and your platform supports 180,000 stores, surely you'd be screaming that from the rooftops, right? 180,000 sounds a whole lot more
You would
impressive
think so,
than
huh?
30,000. Honey knows that, so why hide the real number? Clearly, Honey decided that keeping this little secret to themselves outweighed the benefits of advertising it. Now, as a consumer, you might be thinking, so what if Honey leaks a few coupon codes? Even if a business never gave consent, surely that would just drive more sales for the business, right? Well, it's not that simple. Why? Well, you see, coupon codes are more than just discounts for consumers. They're also a vital marketing tool for businesses. Virtually all coupon codes have a strategic purpose behind them. For example, many online stores will offer a 10% discount as an incentive for signing up to their newsletter. The consumer gets a 10%
that's normal.
discount, and the business gets your email address
We've all
for
seen
marketing.
this before.
It's a simple tit-for-tat exchange. But if Honey snatches up that coupon and makes it available to everyone, well, now the business is losing 10% while gaining nothing in return. The entire
This reminds me of I don't know if my American audience has ever seen this, but for a long time Best Buy had a coupon at USPS called the Mover coupon, And basically this gave you 20% off whatever the hell you wanted. And I think there was kind of no limit to like how much it would discount. As long as you were buying something, it would give you 20% off. So guess what I used my mover coupon for? I bought a graphics card and I used the movers coupon. I got 20% off a GTX Titan X. Isn't it? It was an EVGA one. It's a relic. EVGA is dead. Well, they're not dead, but like they're not in the GPU game anymore.
Purpose behind that coupon code gets destroyed, stripping away any incentive
We're
for the
not
business
even a
to
quarter
continue
through this
offering it.
video.
But it's not just newsletter coupons. Stores will also offer discounts to reward and maintain loyalty, like offering exclusive VIP codes to repeat high-value customers.
I don't think
businesses
that coupon
will even
exists
offer
anymore, by
specialty
the way.
discounts to
Don't
military
bother.
veterans or first responders, just to show their appreciation.
Look, I'm all down for the 10% military discount at Home Depot. But look, okay. I know that there are probably no military wives watching my stream, because that would be weird. But they need to come into the store with less of an attitude. Okay? I get it. Your husband's deployed, and like, you know, you should get all the benefits of that because, you know, you're taking, you know, you're the stay-at-home mom. But like, can you not throw your ID onto my counter and be like, I get a military discount? Like, cool, just show me your ID. I'm gonna scan the thing anyways. It's not like I scan your fucking ID. Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna look at it that closely. It's just a 10% discount. Relax. God damn. Some of them came in with like real attitudes. Like, I never understood it. Like, where does this come from? Sorry, I worked at Home Depot for a long time. It just really pissed
But
me
also,
off.
some businesses have private discount codes like 50 or 80% off that are strictly intended for use by employees or friends and family. So when Honey comes along, finds all of these codes, and hands them out like candy to its millions of users, not only does it cause a negative strategic impact, but it also causes significant financial harm. In fact, this has become such a significant problem for online stores.
Yeah, friends and family discounts can often be like, we just sell you the thing for cost, basically. And like, there is something to be said about economies of scale, but you know, obviously if you're in business, you're not trying to sell things for cost, you're trying to sell things for a profit, possibly from having to fight for it previously. I suppose so, but at least at my store, because like I live in Hawaii, right? So I was in one of the Hawaii stores. Half of the people who come through that store are military. We're not going to fight you on it. I never saw a cashier at any given point ever fight for the military discount. It's like, you flash your ID. Look, sometimes we'll just scan the thing if you ask. It's like, hey, I'm not military. Like, I look. So when I worked in hardware, I'm going to admit to things, but it's been a long time since I worked there, so it's not like they're going to come after me, so I don't care. There were a few times where I would just scan it. Oopsie daisy, I gave you 10% off. Do you want me to fix it? And the person would look at me like, no? Like, okay. Have a good day, bye. Or like, one time I had this lady come in and she looked fucking distraught. She looked like she was having the worst fucking day of her life. She was getting like plumbing crap. She got like some kind of there's like the special wrench that's for like taking apart a faucet. She was buying one of those. She needed something from the hardware section, and I just said, Miss, hold on. I looked at her cart, I started writing down the SKUs, and then I was just like, $50 discount. There you go. Have a good day. And then she went to the register. Oh, customer satisfaction, $50 discount. Well, $50 off. She took like $70 worth of crap and only spent like $20 on it. Did I have to do that? No. Can you get a Home Depot employee to do that? If you got a leg like mine, maybe. But like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe my store was just different because like everyone at my store was like super nice, and we like, look, the Hawaii stores make an insane amount of money. I don't know where all the money like they make comes from, but goddamn, For a small little island, it sure does make a lot.
There are now multiple paid services to help e-commerce stores block.
Nothing pissed me off more than getting a success sharing check of like a few cents when every week my department was like, oh yeah, hardware made like $250,000 this week. Good job, guys. Good job. Hey Velvett, here's your like check for $1. Fucking assholes.
Extensions like Honey. Even well-known retailers are paying to prevent these issues. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does Honey get access to private coupon codes like employee discounts if they're not available to the public? Well, I came across this marketing podcast where they discussed the issue.
What happens is if I have Honey, for example, and I'm one of your best customers at your e-commerce store,
Cool.
and you decide you're going to do a promotion for your VIP customers.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's a flash sale, and you send me a special
Love flash
code.
sales.
I go to your website, I legitimately have that code from you, I type it into the promo code field at checkout. Because I have Honey in my browser, it is able to scrape that code then and give it to everybody who uses it.
Oh, it was watching what people were doing. That's fucked up. That's extra fucked
In
up.
another case, my CEO found a men's apparel brand where they had a $75 off coupon code, but they didn't set a minimum order value. And so people were able to get unlimited merchandise for free as long as they kept their order value at $75 or under.
Okay, that's insane. But I have to.
Well, I would imagine that. So there's also this thing in, I'm not sure if it's law everywhere, but I know it's US law at the very least. There are protections for businesses. So like, let's say in her case, she talked about a coupon code that was $75 off and it had no minimum like value. So like, let's say you put $74 of stuff in your cart, you use the code, in theory your cart should be $0, right? In that case, the business is more than within their rights to like cancel the order because it's obviously like in error. It doesn't make sense for a business to just give things away for free unlimitedly, right? In that case, but the question is, the real question is, were the workers who were fulfilling those orders able to catch that? Like, oh, why is this order $0? Like, are they looking at it closely enough to know that they're not supposed to fulfill that order because it's not financially like viable, right? That's the question. And I imagine that the answer for if the business was large enough, probably no.
To admit, at first, I was a little skeptical of the claim that Honey was snatching codes from users without their consent, because whenever I entered in a coupon code Honey didn't recognize, the extension would always ask for my permission before taking it, or so I thought. But as it turns out, the moment you type in a coupon code, Honey immediately sends that code directly to their servers, and then they ask for your consent. How do I know? Well, you see, a developer, who would like to remain anonymous, noticed that Honey leaked their source code inside of their iOS app. Whoops. So this developer extracted the code and sent it to me. We can actually further verify this with a live example. Watch what Honey does in the background as I enter in this coupon. Honey realizes that it doesn't have this code yet and asks for my consent to share it. But look at this. Before I've clicked anything, Honey has already sent that coupon code to their server, including the details of how much money that coupon saved me, all without my consent. Now, Honey might argue that if you click don't share, they never actually use those coupons. And maybe they don't. Maybe those codes just sit in their database doing nothing. We can't say for certain. However, if you read Honey's privacy policy, it explicitly states that they collect data such as coupons, promo codes, and deals you found. So while they ask for a user's consent, the privacy policy clearly allows you to take that data without it. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because when private codes get leaked, businesses don't just lose money, they're often left in the dark, unable to trace how those codes were exposed in the first place. I've personally found several coupon codes through Honey that were clearly intended for private use. This one coupon I found worked like a $35 gift voucher, meaning I could make unlimited free orders provided my cart value was $35 or under. When I alerted the business, they appeared to have no idea how the code had been leaked. Now, believe it or not, this nightmare for online stores only gets worse.
So we usually use discount codes as a way to track.
So I guess pro business tip: if you have coupon codes in your checkout system, maybe just turn them all off. And if you need to like give someone a discount for something, just be like, just issue a gift card to them if you really have to, so that way you don't have to like make a code that like sits there forever because you won't remember to turn it off. I don't know, just a thought.
When influencers or partners are sending traffic to us so that we can identify the sale was attributed to that influencer and pay them a commission. So I think we saw one code started to get used like way more, and we were like, wow, we're paying this influencer so much, they're doing so well, and I was like a little bit suspicious.
A lot of times discount codes are the only way for you to understand if a YouTuber that you love and would love to partner with is actually driving incremental value to your business. Those codes would immediately get picked up by Honey, and then they'd be used hundreds of thousands of times, and you'd be like, all right, like not only does that negatively impact our business, it was for that audience, but we have...
On the subject of influencer codes, I do technically have a Razor one. Do you know why it's not on my page? Because I don't give a fuck. 5% off a Razer product? Are you kidding me? Razer products are so goddamn expensive. I was yapping about it a few streams ago. If you want a nice keyboard and mouse, go get a Chinese one. They're doing great. I just bought an Aula F87. It was $30. It has hot swappable switches. It has RGB. It is wireless, 2.4 gigahertz, Bluetooth, and wired. And it has really nice keycaps. And it's like the nice kind of clicky. It was $30. An equivalent Razer keyboard, $100 minimum. So if you guys are ever wondering, oh, what kind of integrity does Velvett have? I don't use affiliate codes from brands that I don't think are worth your money. I have the brand, but oh my god. Hi Mons! Aw, thanks for the gifted subs. You're so sweet. Oh my fucking god. Aw, Merry Christmas. You're so silly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But like, here, look, I'm telling you, if I don't believe in a brand, if I don't think their shit is worth buying, I will not put them anywhere on me. If you are gonna buy a Razer product anyways, and you're like, Velvett, I'd like to give you some money, but like not directly, I'll send you my link, whatever. But I will also tell you what you should actually like. And Mon subscribed. I'm so happy. Yay! Oh, you're so sweet, Mons. I hope you're having a good Christmas. You're very silly for all those gift subs. I hope you still got yourself something nice for Christmas. Aw. I know such wonderful people. Okay, good. Okay, good. As long as you can afford it, as long as you know it doesn't hurt you, then I'm good with it. So, anyways, yeah. If I do ever reach the point that I have sponsors and stuff, it will only be sponsors that I believe in, only sponsors that I actually trust and I think are worth your money. Lots of amazing presents. Fantastic. Wouldn't spend money I couldn't spend, so don't worry. That is my worry. That is always my worry. Cause I'm just on stream having fun, and the goal is to just take Twitch's and YouTube's money one day. And sponsors money. That would be great. All right.
Which podcaster we should continue to support.
Now, if you're someone who listens to podcasts, you probably know exactly what Chip is talking about here. When brands advertise on podcasts, affiliate links aren't always practical. Listeners could be running, driving, or doing the laundry without easy access to a computer. So, instead, brands will provide podcasters with a unique coupon code. And each time the listener uses that coupon code...
Exactly. I'm not saying you should steal from... I'm not saying you should steal. I'm not saying you should do nefarious things to take money from corporations, but if you can take money from corporations, you absolutely should. I'm just here to waste Amazon's bandwidth. As long as I say you should, I will. Don't worry, that's the goal. That is the goal one day.
Check out, the podcaster earns a commission, just like an affiliate link. So these are not your typical coupon codes. Behind them, you have an influencer that's trying to earn a living, you have a business paying to promote their product, and there's usually a contract binding the two together. Regardless, Honey will step in, leak the codes to users, disrupting that business relationship.
That's pretty fucked up.
Not only do brands
I'm not sure, like, did they... I know it like helps their business, but like...
commissions to the influencers.
That feels very illegal.
It's easy to imagine how quickly something like
this shit, this shit.
In fact, one business owner
this is part 2, by the way. If you haven't watched this, you should watch it.
We only realized it happening several
months. You should watch it with me.
It's no laughing matter. And if you think this is a huge win for influencers because they get paid a bunch of undeserved commissions, well, think again.
I mean, we basically pulled all out of the podcast realm because there was really no way to figure out how to attribute any successes or failures.
We basically can't do that anymore because as soon as a code becomes used by one person, it's suddenly used by everybody.
This is a nightmare situation for
Honey's
everyone
scamming
involved.
every creator. No, even the ones who were sponsored by them were getting scammed. That's the fucked up part. That's the really fucked up part.
Dedicated marketing teams, advanced analytic tools, and the legal muscle to respond. Smaller businesses, on the other hand, don't have that luxury. So when a multi-billion-dollar company like PayPal piles on more obstacles, it's not just frustrating, it's downright predatory. In fact, Made in Cookware CEO Chip perfectly...
I would never take a sponsorship from PayPal or Honey. Not that they would. But I just wouldn't. If Honey, or not Honey, if PayPal comes out with like a new product that they're trying to push, I don't know, I probably wouldn't. That would sketch me the fuck out. If I know like the parent company is PayPal, nah, I'm good.
summed up the devastating impact Honey's actions can have on a small business.
When you're in the early stages of building a business.
Well, yeah, so most affiliate links, like let's say it's an Amazon affiliate link, it'll probably only be like a couple cents or maybe a couple dollars if it's a high ticket item. But like I was talking about earlier, VPN affiliate links were like upwards of $30 per like use. Like think about that. Lots of people subscribe to VPNs nowadays. And if you got like, if 100 people subscribed, that's $3,000. That's the whole month's salary for a lot of people. It's more for some people. I mainly hate companies that disguises affiliate links as a sponsorship. Oh, for real. Like, you know what? I think Honey wouldn't. There were like, we've already talked about some things that Honey was doing that was like legitimately nefarious, like looking at coupon codes that weren't supposed to be used by the public and then just showing them to everyone. That's wrong. That's obviously like that should not have been allowed in the first place. Thank you so much, Slingblade, for following 92. Oh, you're a year older than me. But I think if Honey had been like, yeah, we are inserting ourselves into the affiliate links, and we are only showing coupon codes that if the brand asks us not to show it, we don't show it. I think if they had done that, I think people wouldn't have been as pissed off as they were. But because they hid everything, I think it's when you are dishonest about your business model, that's when people get really pissed off at you. But often, like, I guess if you think about it, if they were honest from the start, they probably wouldn't have been accepted by many people either, or especially like content creators would have been like, so you're gonna steal my affiliate deal, so why would I use you? You'd have to give me more money than I get from my affiliates, right? But I don't know. As someone who has been a content manager, 90% of sponsorships was just use this oink and you get use this link and you get a percentage of the earnings the company made. Yeah. Le chunk. King Julian, are you about to tell us that you're Filipino? Because I also had lechon today.
You're in the stage of, will this company even work? Is there product market fit? How do I scale this thing? Can the economics work, right? And so all the things we talked about, these discount codes and kind of removal of attribution and killing margin, like those really affect the early stages of a company, from everything from where do I put the next dollar in to make sure I can survive, down to, you're taking 10, 15, 20% of my sales without me wanting it. And we have digital marketing costs, we have shipping costs, we have all these stacks of costs that not only are getting more inflated over time, like FedEx has been raising their rates over time, warehousing costs have gone up, COGS have gone up. As
I'm just a Pokemon lover. Oh, okay.
Years, right? Like all the cost structures have been going up, and to have
anyways, you're cute. I hope you have a lovely day. I got to work tomorrow. I hope you get plenty of rest, Mons.
It's just really disappointing. And like,
yeah, you're a sleepyhead, aren't you?
You're going to steal 10% of your revenue all the time.
Yeah, get some rest.
At the end of the day to make up for that, right? And so it's not only not effective, but it makes it.
You're going on YouTube, by the way.
For the small business owner, any margin, and it's just like a really awful business model. Like, we've been so mad at them for so long.
Really sad. And Chip's point about the impact to consumers is especially important. If Honey's eroding profit margins from retailers and they're forced to increase prices, well, that ultimately affects consumers. Now, as you'd expect, these businesses don't just...
Yeah. If it costs them more money to do business, guess what? Guess who that cost gets passed down to? The consumer, obviously. If there are tariffs imposed and it costs more to import something, guess who pays for that? Not the fucking country it came from, the person who's buying it. The person in America or wherever that has to pay the tariff has to buy it. I ordered a Quest Pro the other day. Or, well, yeah, I guess technically it was yesterday, but it's still today for me. I have to pay import fees on that. Guess who pays import fees? Not Meta, not Amazon, not the third-party seller. Me. I pay those. I paid $100, $180 in import fees. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to pay extra. Fucking goddamn it.
Let these issues slide. Naturally, they reach out to Honey to complain, asking to be removed from the platform. And that, unfortunately, is where the story takes a much darker turn. You see, Honey is well aware of the inconvenience it creates for these online stores. So when they inevitably reach out to Honey, asking to be removed, does Honey oblige? Of course not. Instead, Honey goes, how about this? We'll give you full control over which coupons go live on our platform,
come on the side,
if you partner with us. I kid you not. In fact, Chip was kind enough to share his email exchanges with Honey from 2020. And you need to see it because holy shit, it's bad. Now, it is a long email chain, so I'm not going to read the entire thing, but you're welcome to pause to read the bits I skim over. Hi, I am the CEO of Meeting Cookware. Please remove us from your app. You've scraped a private friends and family code from our checkout and put it on the platform for others to use. We've lost a bunch of revenue. 4 days later, Honey responds with, hi Chip, thanks for reaching out. Honey supports over 40,000.
Can you sit down? Is that possible? Hold on, we need to check if you have panties. Okay, you have shorts. Thank God. Oh, if you can't sit down properly, it's okay. It's fine. I just wanted to, like, because there's text on the screen, I wanted to read it.
Stores online, and we always prioritize protecting the Honey experience for users by supporting available stores and displaying available codes. We can absolutely remove the code in question. In order to protect the Honey experience for our users, we typically do not remove codes unless we have a working relationship. I mean, right off the bat, they're basically saying, we won't compromise the experience for our users unless you pay us. Classy. We'd love to discuss how we can work more closely and partner with your brand.
This is
Replies the
fucked
same
up.
day, we don't offer affiliate deals to coupon sites. We'd like to be removed from your site and extension completely. With the sales pitch not going to plan, Honey brings in their global partnerships manager, Kelly Rodick, who explains to Chip that his leak code was added through Honey's user-generated coupon functionality. No surprises there. She completely ignores his request to be removed from the platform, only offering to remove the leaked employee discount. Chip replies the same day, our friends and family code was listed on your site. That was an internal code meant for a small group of people that was never published anywhere. Our whole site can't be removed from your app. Honey only responds a week later, confirming they removed the employee discount, but again, completely ignores Chip's request to be removed from Honey. Chip responds immediately, pushing for an answer, but they ignore his email completely. A month later,
That seems like it would go against, like, I want to say harassment, but I don't think it would be harassment. I also want to say, like, can spam laws, but I'm not sure if it would apply to that. It just seems very, very nasty. You know what I would do? If I were this company, I would have been like, okay, you know what? Anytime one of our codes goes on the Honey, we make it a code that doubles the price.
Honey leaks another private discount code.
And then it, like, displays something on the screen that's like, Honey is, like, taking over your computer.
Never be public. I don't understand how you feel taking a private employee perk and making that public to the world is helping our business. Honey responds confirming they removed the code, but instead of taking responsibility, they try shifting the blame onto Chip, suggesting his employees might be responsible for sharing the code with Honey. But given what we know about their system, I'm willing to bet Honey were responsible for the leak, not Chip's employees. Honey then suggests that Chip creates single-use codes for each and every employee, essentially making it his responsibility to fix a problem they created in the first place. I would be fuming if this were my business. 2 months later, and another private code gets leaked. And once again, Chip asks to be completely removed from the platform. And this time, Honey finally addresses the question. We proudly host a consistent shopping experience for all Honey shoppers who rely on our shopping tools. Therefore, we cannot disable Honey for individual stores, and never have. Never have, huh? Well, that's interesting, because it just so happens that Andrew from TrueGrit Texture Supply also shared his email exchange with Honey. And would you believe it? He was dealing with the exact same Honey employee as Chip. And while Honey attempted the same sales pitch with Andrew, they did eventually remove his store from the platform. So yes, it is possible, and yes, they have done it before. Once again, we've caught Honey in yet another calculated and deliberate lie. And make no mistake, it was deliberate because this employee, Kelly, confirmed the removal of Andrew's store just 1 month before assuring Chip that Honey had never removed a store before. Honey clearly has the capability to remove stores, they just choose to enforce that decision selectively. Keep in mind, Honey knows exactly how many of their users are visiting a given store and how much they are spending. So I'd speculate that this selective enforcement comes entirely down to which stores Honey believes will make them the most money. Now, for the record, I didn't even get...
I don't really understand, though. So were they stacking affiliates with, like, employee discounts? Is that why they didn't want to remove it? It seems odd, right? Right, Tenta? So just nod your head and agree with me. Okay, yeah, Tenta agrees. It just seems odd that you would refuse to remove something and then, like, hurt your relationship with that business. You'd think that the idea or the goal would be to, like, oh yeah, so we're so sorry, but how about we work together and, like, we'll make an affiliate link, and then, like, Honey will drive, like, sales to your store, and you'll make more money, and we'll make money as a result. How does that sound? Instead of just being like, nah, go fuck yourself. Because that's what that email chain read to me.
Through that entire email chain between Chip and Honey. It goes on and on. And this behavior is not an isolated incident. It's a pattern.
When merchants discover their codes have leaked and then they want to clamp down on that, they go to these coupon extensions and plea and request to have their codes removed. And 9 times out of 10, the response is join our affiliate program and you'll have more granular control over that. And so I think
because they think that at that point damage is already done, so they will delay the inevitable as much as possible. Yeah, I guess so. But from, like, it doesn't seem financially, like, sensible to be like, oh no, we're just gonna keep fucking you, so, you know, let's just never work together and never, like, make money together, right? Like, it just seems odd that they wouldn't, like, try to foster a relationship in order to, like, drive more sales and therefore drive more, like, affiliate revenue. I don't know.
Merchants tend to feel a little bit as though they're being blackmailed or extorted, you know, because you join the affiliate program and then you have to pay.
You know what this also reminds me of? Speaking of companies blackmailing other companies, it feels like Yelp. Yelp was so funny back in the day. I remember when my older sister had gotten like her very first smartphone, because it was like literally one of the first ones, right? It was one of the new like what was it? Motorola something. Motorola Gear, I think it was. And she fucking loved Yelp. It was like using Yelp was her life. And it was so funny to me when I found out that like Yelp started like blackmailing like businesses to take down bad reviews. At one point, okay, I'm gonna admit to something naughty. There was a business that like screwed over one of my friends, and they were like really like mean to her. So I just wrote a completely unhinged Yelp review, and it didn't get taken down for months. It was complete nonsense, but the owner would respond to me every single time. So every time they responded to me, I would write back with something completely unrelated, and they would get so furious at me. Oh, it was great. You can tell that this shop has problems.
That such a company every time somebody uses a code. And you're doing that in order to have them not share your codes.
I mean, this has got to be one of the most f***ed up business models I have ever seen.
Yeah,
Let's be
pretty
real about
fucked
what's
up.
going on here. In my opinion, it's economic extortion. Just think about it. Imagine one day deciding to start your own business. You've saved up all this money and invested it all into this one big idea. You're taking on a huge risk. And as you navigate the daily struggles of running a business, a bad actor sneaks into your store without you ever noticing. They quietly start collecting coupons from your customers and start handing them out at your checkout counter. Then one day,
Follow me
you notice
and
a customer
subscribe
with a
on
voucher
YouTube
that was
if
clearly
you wanna
never
see more
intended for them,
Tenta.
and you have absolutely no idea how they got it. But when you eventually catch the culprit and demand that they leave your store, they refuse, and there's nothing you can do about it. Knowing this, the bad actor leverages the harm they manufactured by strong-arming you into signing a partnership deal, where the only way to stop the damage they created is by paying them. Honey's business model starts to make a lot more sense.
Oh, so they use the blackmail to make money. I can think of another sort of, not really a business, but like, you know, a form of business that works like this. What's it called? The fucking mafia.
Now, doesn't it? It makes sense why they dragged 146,000 stores onto their platform and kept quiet about it, because by doing so, they wedged themselves between those stores and their customers, disrupting, interfering, and ultimately taking control over their coupon strategies. And the only way for those stores to regain some of that control is by paying Honey. I mean, why else would any
So
of
all
these
these
stores
companies
partner
that
with
like
and pay Honey
got
if they're
blackmailed
already
need to
on the
get
platform
together
for free?
and like
The
sue
answer
the
is simple.
crap out of them.
Stores don't pay for inclusion, they pay for exclusion, for damage control. It makes sense. Now, to be clear, I'm not suggesting that all of Honey's 35,000 partnered stores were coerced into joining their platform. I'm sure many signed up willingly. After all, Honey does offer a cashback program, which some stores genuinely like to offer users. And just look at the glowing case studies on Honey's website. Some of the numbers they throw around make partnering with Honey look like an absolute no-brainer. Increased average order value, reduced cart abandonment, that's music to the ears of any e-commerce store owner. But of course, if the benefits were truly as good as they say, you'd expect that brands who partner with Honey never look back. Right? Well, here's a little statistic Honey doesn't want brands to see, and it's from their own data. This right here is a list of stores that, at some point, tried a partnership with Honey, then decided, yeah, no thanks, and ended the partnership. There's 15,000 of them. That's 15,000 brands that, at some point, were partnered with Honey, but no longer are. And this is based on the limited data I have access to. The actual number is potentially a lot higher. I think that says a lot more about the value Honey can bring to businesses than any of their case studies. Given everything we've uncovered about Honey so far, it really makes you wonder, why on earth would a Fortune 500 company like PayPal sink $4 billion into buying this company? Sure, Honey was making some sweet affiliate revenue, but still, that's a lot of money. To put that price tag into perspective, the platform you're watching this on, YouTube, was acquired for just $1.6 billion. Combine that with the acquisitions of Instagram and Twitch, and it still equates to less than what PayPal paid for Honey, a coupon browser extension. Well,
I should have started streaming COVID. I would have gotten some Honey money.
Cash. They also had 17 million users worth of data, and as it turns out, lots of it. Remember in the last episode how I said, if a product's free, it's likely you're the product? Well, we're at that part of the story now. You see, while Honey was handing out bottom of the barrel coupon codes, they were also—
Let me repeat what he just said, so that way you all heard it, because he said it kind of fast, because I'm at 1.5x speed. If it's free, you're the product. Don't forget that. You don't pay for Facebook? Guess what? You're the product. You look at the ads, they get money from the ads. You sit here on Twitch, you watch me. If you're not subscribed, guess what? You're going to see an ad at some point. That makes you the product. I'm not saying to subscribe, I'm just saying that that's how it is. Just to be clear. I'm not DSP, I'm not begging for money.
also tracking your shopping habits and collecting a ton
We
of data
shouldn't throw
along the way.
shade at people
In
I
fact,
don't know.
Amazon of all companies began warning users that Honey was a security risk, stating Honey tracks your private shopping behavior, collects data like your order history and items saved, and can read and change any of your data on any website you visit. They even recommended uninstalling the extension. That was somewhat surprising to me, given how much Honey played into the whole "you can trust us with your data" narrative.
Actually free, not like selling all your personal data free.
Does Honey sell user data?
No.
This prompted me to investigate Honey's data collection practices, and what I found was, unsurprisingly at this point, pretty darn concerning. Hilariously, the first thing I noticed when auditing Honey's website was that they explicitly assured users that, hey, what we don't do is sell or share your data. But the moment you click the link to their privacy policy, the first thing you see is how we share your data. Excuse me, red flag number 1.
Bro.
Now, this privacy policy was packed with vague language when it came to what data they were collecting and how they
What if you gifted, are you the price tag? Oh. I think in that case you are buying something, but I guess in that case you're like, what the Thanks, Savannah. Merry Christmas. You're so silly. Wait. Did you buy 5 more? Just to be at the top? Is that what you did? You're so silly. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I have some great people in my life. Some very sweet people. But I guess if you're buying so many new price tags. No, that's not what they are. They're my loyal softies. Anyways, if you got a gifted sub, make sure to say thank you to the person who got it for you. I think it's broken. It says I have 8. Interesting. Huh. That is interesting. What the frick? Huh.
They were sharing it. So I dug deeper and came across this incredible investigation by a German nonprofit called Data Request, who advocate for data privacy online. And they dug into Honey's data collection practices by submitting what's known as a GDPR right of access request. For those unfamiliar, under European law, anyone living in Europe can ask a company, no matter where it's located, for a copy of all the personal data that company has collected on them. So 2 of their members, Benny and Malta, both Honey users, each submitted a GDPR request. Their data revealed that Honey was systematically tracking their browsing activity across every website it considered to be an online store. They also collected timestamps, unique user IDs, device IDs, operating system info, geolocation details, and the full URL.
Ooh, that's a lot of data.
Now, Data Request showed that from these logs alone, Honey could infer some incredibly personal insights about a user. Here are just a few examples from Benny's data that was collected in 20.
So you know what's funny? Is that in most developed nations, there are laws that prevent like businesses, like let's say they're hiring someone, right? You cannot in most cases you cannot discriminate against like a protected class such as race, such as gender identity, or like if you have disabilities or age. Let's talk about age for a second. You can't ask how old someone is. I mean, you have to ask to like make sure that they're like over the age of 18, right? But you're not like, the employer isn't supposed to like take that information into account. So like let's say you're going into an interview with someone and they want to know how old you are. But they can't ask that question. They cannot specifically say, how old are you? You know what they can say though? When did you graduate high school? Or they can ask you a question like, hey, does anyone in chat did anyone in chat watch Sailor Moon while it was on TV? I can extrapolate your age based on that answer. I mean, if you say yes, then I know roughly how old you are, but if you say no, then you're in one of 2 other directions. You could be really old, but you're probably really young. It's just how it is. You can, but they always find something to do it. Exactly. There's always, if you have enough data about someone, you can figure things out. I know where Tenta lives, and Tenta has never told me where she lives, but I know where she lives. It's okay, I don't have the exact address, so I can't send her gifts. You watch Pokemon while it was on TV? We're probably, wait, it depends, like, wait, what was Ash's team? It depends on the Pokemon, because Pokemon has been on TV for basically ever. What was Ash's team when you watched it? To be honest, I would be concerned if an employer is going to ask for my age because they either A, didn't read my CV because it tells my date of birth, or B, don't know math. They sometimes so when an interviewer gets like, so like HR will receive your application and they'll see your CV, and then there will be like layers of like interview like steps. They might not actually read your CV at like the higher interview steps because like you've already been vetted by HR or like some other hiring manager, and they're not supposed to ask that question. Like, so they might want to ask that question, but they're not technically supposed to. So that's a thing that can happen sometimes. I know that sometimes that happens for me, where I'll get someone in and I'll be like, I don't know how old you are. I don't really give a crap either, but I do want to ask, because like look, there are people in my field, and when they're on the younger side, they're a bit stupid, and then when they're on the way too old side, they're like kind of like, you can't ask them to do anything with a computer. And that's just how it is. I like to get someone around my age. I watched the second episode when it came out. You watched the second episode when it came out. You are definitely 35. That's my guess.
2020. Honey could see that on February 13th at 2:57 p.m, Benny viewed an iFixit guide on how to swap the DVD lens on a Nintendo Wii. They could see that Benny checked an AliExpress order 13 times, his order ID fully visible, including the fact he opened a dispute for the order. They could see he had a Microsoft family plan and that he added a new family member to his Office 365 account.
What the fuck?
And he also knew that Benny looked for an Airbnb in Berlin for 2 adults from the 4th to the 5th of March. And apparently Benny had issues with his iPhone because he viewed an Apple support page on how to reset his passcode. On March 23rd at around 5
that's
PM,
too
Benny watched a
much. What
documentary
the
called Scanning
fuck?
the Pyramids on Curiosity Stream, a service he subscribed to just an hour earlier through YouTuber Tom Scott's affiliate link. And apparently Benny's a gamer because he redeemed a game on Steam with the serial code 5HGP6. You get the point. All that information could be inferred from just 27 pages.
Damn. So if I had known that, I would have been like pretty close. Australia gets every anime 10 years late. That's actually insane.
But in total, Honey collected over 2,500 pages of web activity between just February and May of 2020, meaning what I just read to you represents only 1% of the total data Honey collected within a 3-month window. That is insane. Now, while Benny willingly registered an account with Honey, Malta, on the other hand,
This is going on
Honey
YouTube, by
collected
the
the
way.
same data from him as well,
I don't
suggesting
know how many
whether you
views I'll
formally
get,
register
but
an
I'm just
account with
letting you
Honey or
guys know.
simply
If you
install
put
the extension,
information on
Honey
here,
was
it's
harvesting the
it's
same
over
data
there on chat.
regardless. Huge shout out to Data Request for their work. I'll link their full investigation below. They also have a great tool where eligible consumers can easily request a copy of their data from companies like Honey and also request to have that data deleted. Definitely check that out and consider supporting their nonprofit. So as you can see, it starts to make a
I'm gonna make a cut right here. If you said something in chat and you want it removed, DM me on Discord. I'll let my editor know. But starting from this point, you do not get that request.
lot more sense why a company like PayPal would fork out so much money for this platform. Honey was sitting on a treasure trove of data that provided detailed insights into its users' shopping habits. Honey could see what users were buying, how they shopped, what they searched for, the decisions they made before checkout, and even the services they considered but didn't purchase. That information is invaluable to a payments platform like PayPal. But don't just take my word for it. Here's Honey's former senior manager of partnerships, Daniel Pilkington, discussing the benefits of Honey's data for their partnered
I just automatically don't trust someone named Pilkington.
merchants.
You know, one of the metrics that we assess very frequently for merchants that work with Honey is, cross-store shopping. So, how many other stores is a user visiting as well as the store in question? They go to 6 stores, they go to 7 stores, they go to 10 stores before they make a decision on where to purchase.
And here's another former senior partnerships manager.
So one of the things we have insight into at Honey, because we're a browser extension and we can see our shoppers and how they shop, is that shoppers love to cross-site comparison shop. We're really kind of following the shopper where they go, and we're with them every step of the way. We have all.
If you buy shit online and you aren't checking every fucking site that you can for the best deal, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know about you guys, but I don't buy anything until I know for a fact that I am getting the best deal and the best thing.
Sorts of tools to make those consumers stickier to those direct-to-consumer brands.
And here's a former PayPal executive discussing how beneficial the data is for their goals.
We've got a full suite of solutions across our consumer platforms that help drive new customers, that help drive loyalty, that help drive conversion, and ultimately sales lift. And we have a lot of analytics and a lot of data, a lot of shopper data, obviously, and that's something that we can unlock on behalf of our partners.
You've got to hand it to Honey. They've truly mastered the art of selling bullshit narratives. To users, they promise privacy, insisting, hey, we never sell or share your data. But to their merchants, they literally bragged about how much of your data they had and how it could be leveraged to provide them with valuable insights into your shopping habits. It's genuinely astounding. Now, for clarity, those interviews were all recorded after PayPal's acquisition of Honey. So, is this simply a case of a corporate giant turning a once well-intentioned startup into a data harvesting
No, it's
machine?
PayPal.
Nope.
PayPal's
In fact,
always
data
evil.
collection was part of Honey's game plan well before they were acquired by PayPal. This right here is Honey's pitch deck to investors from back in 2015. On the business model slide, Honey clearly labels personalized offers to
before they were
consumers based on
acquired.
cross-site
Okay.
comparison shopping data as a core component of their business strategy. And
Okay, are you guys able to see the lag between like what I'm listening to and my brain processing it? That's how it always is for me.
on the very next slide, proudly entitled Our Unfair Advantage, it explicitly states Honey's unique data allows us to predict what each user is about to buy, when they intend to purchase, and how
That's
much they are willing to pay.
crazy.
They even itemize the data collected as user behavioral data, stores visited, products viewed, and of course, your purchase history. So not only was data collection top of mind from
This is deeply fucked up that they have this information about you, but I would love to see my profile. I want to know what they think about me. Do you guys ever like you kind of know that like Facebook, Twitter, you know, all the social media sites, they all like kind of track you a little bit, right? Would you guys be interested to see that you're like your own profile to see what they think about you? Because I sure as fuck would. Like, what kind of person, like what has the AI like diagnosed me as? That would be so funny. Oh my
very
god.
beginning, but they were already actively collecting it and pitching that data to investors as a valuable asset. For years,
I bet if I could see my profile, like the first word would be like cheap as fuck. Open Twitter Premium like 15 times before she's subscribed to get the blue check mark.
Honey framed data collection as minimal and purely in service of saving users money. Well, it appears they were full
Do
of
they
shit.
consider
And to
me
be
a
clear, I'm
baddie?
not
I
suggesting
bet
that
you're
Honey
a
was
baddie,
selling your data to
Julian.
third parties for cash. Well, at least I found no evidence of that. But were they quietly monetizing your data behind the scenes, sharing insights with partnered merchants while conveniently leaving that detail out of their privacy policy? Well, it sure looks that way to me. One thing is for certain, however, and that's that Honey sold your data to PayPal, one of the largest online payment platforms in the world. PayPal didn't spend billions of dollars for a simple coupon extension. They were buying a window
Yeah.
into your life as a consumer. And here's why that should worry you.
PayPal launches.
They bought all. I'm gonna get copyrighted by Linus Tech Tips again. This is gonna be fun. It's just the automated bot that they have. It's not anything bad, and you know I expect it from them because they're a well-meaning media company.
An ad network. PayPal has officially said it will be launching an ad network that will sell ads leveraging the data it collects on the purchase history and spending habits.
That's
of 100
fucking
million
wild if they were gonna do
This change
that.
would also likely affect users of PayPal subsidiaries like Venmo and Honey, and I believe there's more as well. But
Nice. I didn't know that Venmo was a PayPal thing. That's news to me. But I don't use Venmo. So, because you know, when my friends ask me for cash, I just give them cash. I like cash. You can trust it.
Nice. This is like
No, you
terrible.
can't.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, to make this whole data collection issue 100 times worse, something else caught my eye while reading through Honey's privacy policy. Right at the very bottom, Honey states that, quote, we created Honey for the exclusive use of adults, 18 and older, and we don't knowingly collect or solicit personal information from children. Yeah, you see, now there's just
Knowingly.
one problem with that.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
That's right. Not only did Honey and PayPal knowingly collect data from minors, but they intentionally targeted
You guys are gonna love this next thing I'm gonna say. I have never watched a Mr. Beast video. Not because I don't like him or anything. I don't know. Just YouTube never recommends him to me. So I don't click on it. And I don't actively look for things on YouTube. YouTube just knows what I like to watch. It shows me Lighthouse Horror, it shows me SCP things, it shows me PBS stuff, sometimes Simone Yetch, and like other kind of documentary things. It doesn't ever show me Mr. Beast. I saw his Squid Game. I saw like clips of it, but I didn't like watch the whole thing. I saw the one clip where the guy is like where Mr. Beast like explains the game. He goes red light, green light, and then the guy like heard Mr. Beast go green light, and so he finished the game, and then Mr. Beast was like, I guess technically
them in their advertising. That's not just unethical, it's potentially illegal in numerous jurisdictions. Many countries have very strict regulations when it comes to the collection of personal data from minors, and for good reason. Therefore, if you intend on having minors use your product, many jurisdictions require that you obtain parental consent first. But this adds all kinds of technical and legal complexities, which is why many platforms simply limit the use of their service to adults only in their privacy policy, which was Honey's approach. But if Honey were genuinely trying to avoid having kids on their platform, they probably shouldn't have sponsored one of the most popular influencers in the world, whose key demographic of followers is, well, this. But Honey did sponsor Mr. Beast, and those videos garnered a whopping 3 billion views, making him Honey's #1 sponsor. In fact, according to my data, Mr. Beast sponsorships represent over 1/3 of Honey's total sponsored views on YouTube. But it wasn't just Mr. Beast. Honey sponsored many channels whose content was, in my opinion, clearly targeted at minors. They sponsored Minecraft channels, Roblox channels, cartoon channels. I mean, just watch this video and tell.
Yeah. The demographic for all those channels is probably kids, right? A little fucked up.
Tell me it's not targeted at children.
Sorry, kitty.
This video is sponsored by Honey.
If Honey wanted to target minors so badly, they should have just sponsored
What was
one.
that? Is that a thing
That's
people
exactly
watch?
what they did. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Desiree Machado, who at the time was just 14 years old.
Guys, I'm only
Completely off topic. I like the name Desiree. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
14.
It's a good name.
Hilariously, one of her videos that Honey sponsored is appropriately titled Back to School. Honey even ran her sponsored segment as a paid advert on YouTube. Now,
What was
speaking of
that
paid
catfish
adverts, let's
fuck,
quickly
dude? I
circle
don't
back to
know.
that Mr. Beast ad, because of all the evidence, this
Who
has got
the
to be
frick
the
knows
single
what
worst
that
example
was?
of Honey intentionally targeting minors. Let me play it again.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your
Hold on. Oh shit. Me I have a challenge for all of you. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, I have a Discord. Come visit me on my Discord. And I have a Twitter. Follow me if you do use the Twitters or whatever. Okay, back to the video.
dad, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
They are literally encouraging kids to install a browser extension that tracks and collects data.
If you get your mom to join my Discord and subscribe to me on YouTube, I will DM her. And we will have a nice chat about you and the content that you watch.
Onto every computer in their household, including those belonging to their siblings. That is
Okay, I'll send them my-
insane. And the emojis?
Get your grandma on my Discord. I want to know all about her cookie recipes, because I bet she has some fucking dope cookie recipes.
I mean, come on! And look, this is not a good look for Mr. Beast either. Influencers have a duty of care to ensure that any advertising they engage in is compliant with relevant advertising laws, especially when your audience skews young. Of course, I did reach out to Mr. Beast and his team for comment, but never heard back from them. Now, in case you're still not convinced that this was intentional, because, I don't know, perhaps Honey had a rogue marketing team that was poorly aligned with upper management, well, here's a few words from Honey's former president, Joanne Bradford, talking about the benefits of working with Mr. Beast.
We launched it with gamers playing YouTube on their desktop, and a little gamer called Mr.
Gamers. I'm sorry, I had to do the bit.
Beast. So we were his first advertiser, and we did a deal with him. His collective ads, I think, have been seen, I'm going to say billions,
Yeah.
close to 4 billion times.
Wow.
Every kid in America knows what Honey is. Every kid in America was telling their moms and their dads they needed to download, Honey in order to save money.
Oh, they weren't just telling their mums and dads to install
Face.
Honey. They were
I'm just
installing
kidding,
it
not
themselves.
face.
My 5-year-old brother installed Honey on his computer.
She
Wow,
makes a
kids
killer
start
pie,
saving
I
money
bet. What
earlier
kind
and
of
earlier these
pie?
days. And here's Honey's co-founder, Ryan Hudson, discussing how Honey leveraged the credibility that influencers have with their audience.
We learned how to work with influencers, in particular on YouTube, to lean into the credibility that they have with their audiences, the ability to speak the language of their audience, and it's been incredible for us. And so we've done, if you watch YouTube or you have kids that watch YouTube, they have seen, if you watch Mr. Beast,
It's a lot of honey.
A lot of honey.
This was no accident. Honey's leadership knew what they were doing, and they knew it worked well.
Chunky
That Mr. Beast
steak,
ad alone
Ned
has
Kelly, or are we
118
talking
million paid ad
sweets?
views, the highest of any Honey ad on YouTube, which strongly suggests it was also their best performer. Honey likely invested millions into this ad alone. Honestly, it's genuinely shocking they've gotten away with it for so long. Now, given everything we've uncovered so far, you might be wondering how on earth there could be more to this investigation. Well, while Honey was the first
There's still like 6 minutes to this video, and he's got more? He's got fucking more? Jesus Christ.
extension of its kind, unfortunately, they certainly weren't the last.
Ah, yes, I've seen some of
There are
these.
now hundreds
Surfshark.
of coupon and cashback extensions. And while I haven't
I've seen
investigated all of them
Pi.
to the same extent that I have with Honey, many of them engage in similar behavior, especially when it comes to poaching affiliate commissions. And that's why there are now multiple class action lawsuits targeting these other companies. Influencers haven't just been losing money to one sleazy salesman at checkout, they've been losing money to an army of them. In my opinion, these extensions are nothing but leeches. They are parasites in the world of e-commerce. In fact, I've encountered so much shady behavior with these extensions that I felt it was necessary to create my own browser extension to alert me anytime an affiliate cookie is loaded onto my browser. It's called Cookie Guard, and it's especially helpful because some of these extensions
Wouldn't it be fucked up if he created this extension to do exactly what they do? That would be really funny. But I guess you know, it exists, so go get. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to recommend an extension. You want to? Go ahead. Watch the video. Decide whatever you want to do. I'm personally not going to bother. I don't really give a crap, and I'm not in a region where coupon codes on websites are a thing. So whatever.
Will load their affiliate link in ways that are
I use two sites for shopping. American Amazon to get the imported crap because like there are some things I just can't get here, and then I use Shopee because I'm in the Philippines right now, and we also have Shopee back in Taiwan, and yeah, that's basically all we use to shop. There are no coupon codes there because Shopee has all the coupon codes. Just 20% off everything all the time. Does that mean everything is 20% more expensive?
To the user.
Yes, it does.
For example, if you click to copy a coupon on Honey, it looks
I
like a
have the
harmless
Jambo
feature because
extension.
you don't see that sneaky tab opening in the corner. But with Cookie Guard installed, you can see that behind the scenes, they are quietly stuffing their cookie through what's known as a hidden iframe. You can Google it. Even worse, I found that the extension Karma Now would stuff their cookie the moment you landed on a checkout page. Completely automated, no interaction with their extension required.
Ooh.
They also had a system that could detect when you used a competitor's extension, like Honey, and they would wait for that extension's affiliate link to load, then immediately override it with their own. Again, no interaction with their app required. It's insane.
What
And
if they
this
all
sort of
know
malicious
about
behavior
each
is
other?
not
Do they just
exclusive to
sit there
browser
and wait
extensions.
forever?
Even Microsoft couldn't resist the temptation of easy affiliate money and decided to offer coupons directly from the Edge browser. Watch what happens.
Okay, so speaking of the Edge browser and Bing in general, I thought it was so. I think Bing still does this. If you are like dirt poor and you need money, you fucking 877 JG Wentworth, you need cash now. I think if you search with Bing, they give you money, which is deeply funny to me. It's like they're so desperate to get users, they will pay you to use it. Holy shit.
When I visit my NordVPN affiliate link. Once I've clicked on one of their coupons, Microsoft immediately replaced my affiliate cookie with their own, poaching the sale. And when I tried to reload my affiliate link to reinstate my cookie, it comes back momentarily, but Microsoft quickly and automatically replaces it again with their own.
God damn, Microsoft, calm
people
the
hate
fuck
your browser
down.
enough as it is. And how about Opera's browser? They recently stopped this, but for some time, if you simply entered the URL of a store that they were partnered with and clicked their autocomplete suggestion, Opera considered that fair game to inject their affiliate link and claim the sale. Affiliate marketing has truly become a war of the cookies. I could go on and on with these examples.
That's why all teachers use
This all begs
Bing.
the question,
Fair.
how the fuck is all of this being allowed?
Julian,
Are
were
there
you
no
here
rules in place
yesterday when I was
to
talking
prevent
about
this behavior?
teachers?
Well, as
I
it
don't
turns out,
think so,
yes,
right?
there are in fact plenty of rules in place that should have prevented much of what I have uncovered in this investigation. So why hasn't it? Well, that's where greed and incentives
Yeah, I was yapping
you
about
see,
how
so
teachers
far
don't
we
get
have
paid
only
enough.
discussed two key players in affiliate marketing, merchants and affiliates. Merchants want to sell their products and services, and affiliates want to promote those products and services for a commission. Pretty straightforward. But there's another crucial player that we haven't yet discussed, and that is the affiliate networks. Affiliate networks are like dating apps for the industry. They allow merchants and affiliates to easily discover one another,
Nasty.
connect, and work together. These networks also take care of all the technical stuff, like the affiliate tracking links, reporting, and commission payments. But most importantly, these networks also set the rules. They are the gatekeepers. Some of the largest networks in this industry are A1, Commission Junction, Impact, and Rakuten Advertising. Now, not only do these networks have their own strict policies, at least
I
on
didn't
paper,
know
but on top of
Rakuten was
that,
that-
over a
that
decade
big.
ago, most of these networks collectively agreed to enforce two codes of conduct. One for downloadable softwares, like extensions, and the other for all affiliates that promote coupon codes. And the rules
Okay.
set out in these codes prohibit many of the behaviors uncovered in this video. So why aren't these networks enforcing their own bloody rules? Well, for every sale made in affiliate marketing, these networks also get a slice of the pie. They generally charge between 20 and 30% of each and every commission paid. There are some variations, of course, not all networks have the same rates and pricing structures, but the core principle is almost always the same. The more money that flows through these extensions, the more the networks get paid. So when these networks enforce rules resulting in a loss of income for the extensions, they too take a hit. Enforcing their own rules basically means shooting themselves in the foot. That kind of incentive structure doesn't just fail to prevent fraud, it practically invites it. Part 3 is going to be huge, and that was supposed to be the next video in the series. But that's not the video you're going to see next. In the next video, I'm going to be exposing
What do
a
you mean
secret
next
system
video?
buried deep within Honey's code that was never meant to see the light.
What the fuck do you
The
mean
system
next
was engineered
video?
specifically to bypass
There's gonna be
one of
more?
the most important rules in affiliate marketing. A rule intended to protect influencers from the very commission theft demonstrated in my last video. And that
Holy
rule
shit.
is known in the industry
Oh
as
my
stand
fucking
down.
God.
Stand down essentially means that extensions must detect if a user has already clicked on someone else's affiliate link. And if they have, the extension must deactivate itself and not interfere. Yet, during my testing, Honey virtually never stood down. Suddenly, however, Honey began complying much more frequently. And this change in compliance didn't smell right to me. So I started digging. And that's one of the reasons why this video was delayed for so long. Because as it turns out, Honey wasn't just ignoring stand-down rules, the system they created was designed explicitly to bypass it, while hiding that behavior from compliance testers. And I have all the evidence to prove it. In fact, what I found was so shocking that I consulted with a respected security researcher who was able to independently verify and validate my discovery. The behavior I'm describing, in my opinion, likely constitutes criminal behavior. And in a few days, everyone will learn about the greatest heist in affiliate history.
And that's why they're suing him.
Attempting to stamp down as little as possible while avoiding getting caught. Those objectives are intention, of course. The more you don't stand down, the more you're likely to get caught for not standing down. So they're trying to figure out in what circumstances can they avoid standing down and not face a material risk of being caught.
All right.
By now, you've probably heard about...
Oh, okay.